A few years ago, a friend of mine on Facebook posted a series of 3 questions about gender. Basically, the idea was to use these questions to question your identity, even if you think that you know it, because you might discover something that you didn't know about yourself. And this can allow you to become a more authentic version of yourself. I read that and immediately went, nah, I don't need to do that, I'm happy with who I am. So, you know, literally the complete opposite of that. Go past me. Anyway, a little more recently, though still back when I was in Minnesota, I began thinking about pronouns. I realized that I genuinely didn't really care that much about pronouns, specifically for me. In my mind, I was happy to use he, him because that was correct, but I ultimately didn't think it mattered that much. Because my brain can occasionally be a bit slow on the uptake, it took me a while to realize that it wasn't just pronouns, but it was gender in general. I just didn't really care all that much. So with that in mind, I decided that I wanted to explore this a little bit more. I wanted to make sure that this was a real thing. And yes, I acknowledge that if it's something that you experience about yourself, then it is a real thing, even if it ends up being something that only you experience. It doesn't lessen how real it is. However, I was concerned that this idea of not caring about your gender is something that transphobes can use to lessen how other people feel about their gender. Well, I don't care about pronouns you use for me, so I don't know why you're making such a big deal about yours. You know, things like that. And I very much did not want to be associated with assholes like that. But I discovered, and continue to discover, that it is something that other people have experienced, which allowed me to fully embrace it. So, in what is probably the least surprising thing to come from me since coming out as asexual, I am gender apathetic. I genuinely don't care that much about my gender. How does that ultimately impact all of you? Truthfully, not that much. I'm still happy to be referred to with he, him pronouns. I'm just happy to also be referred to as any other pronoun that you choose to throw my way. I am wildly indifferent. On my end, it is oddly freeing to come to this realization. Which is not to say that I ever felt oppressed or that I couldn't express my true self. It's just because it's something that I never even fully realized, it wasn't a part of me that I ever thought about. So it's just nice to realize that aspect about myself, and it allows me to feel more comfortable with who I am as a person. If you're going to take anything from this video, other than, hi, I'm Jeffrey and I am gender apathetic, I think it would be this. If a friend of yours who clearly went on their own gender journey and is also very clearly happier with who they are, tells you to question things, maybe actually listen to them. It would ultimately be better for you in the long run. But that is it for this video, so to all of my friends and fellow VEDSies, I will see all of you tomorrow. On my end, there's that puberty again. If you're going to take